Welcome everybody to Talk That Talk, where we have the unfiltered, unscripted, uncomfortable conversations about music, music education, band, HBCU band culture, and more. Please make sure that as you come in, you subscribe to the network and also make sure you click that like button. All right. This is a historic day. A lot of you all won't understand this, and I want to make sure that we explain it as much as possible. But before we do that, I want to make sure that the rest of the panel gets in here. We got a couple of people coming in here late, but it's okay. It's a really interesting day how we doing this, but we're gonna make it work for what we do. All right. So there we go. Let's welcome Maya to the panel. She getting herself together.
Whoops. Hello.
Yeah, she was ready.
I should have been an engineer. Okay, I got
There
it.
you go. See, you can see me. You can see me up there in the back. Yeah.
Gotcha.
See, we special.
I like it.
There we go. Let me see. I want to try to put the band daddy,
Mm-hmm.
make the band daddy special. Maybe we're not gonna do that. All right, let's just do it that way. All right.
Okay, maybe I shouldn't have been an engineer. I thought we was gonna do it like that.
There we go. There we go. Yeah. So this is a very historic day, and it's a historic day because of the fact that USBands is actually putting this thing together. So let me really explain to you what this is, right? So USBands is a national international program that hosts DCI programs, and they've been doing that for a very, very long time, right? And then here in the state of Texas, when it comes to adjudication and UIL, for many, many years, band has, especially in the African American low socioeconomic urban communities where we do a lot of the show style HBCU band marching, we have not been judged fairly for many, many years. And so this right here is their opportunity. US fans coming together and building their opportunity for us to be judged fairly. And I think that this is a very, very beautiful historic moment in band culture, HBCU band culture, and everything, marching culture. So this is an historic day. We're gonna do right. What we're gonna do is we're gonna actually watch a lot of these performances, watch a lot of what's going on today. We're gonna do a lot of critiquing. We're gonna treat this like NFL. So if we see something that we don't deem well, then we're gonna make a comment about it. Also, we're gonna get a couple interviews today. Maya's still getting herself together. It's okay.
I'm ready.
So while we're doing that, please make sure as you come in, you like and subscribe. For a second right now, we want to make sure that you guys can see the field show. So what's going on right now is we have a field show and a performance that's going on. So we're going to watch that field show and we're going to critique as we go. All right. All right. So one of the things that I do see is the fact that, yes, it's a smaller program, but I will say this about this group. There's a nice precision that I really like about them. Everybody's moving their feet in time. Feet timing looks really good. They're paying attention to awareness to the field, even for a small program. Alignment's looking pretty good. They remind me of FAMU.
Is it just the colors, or is it
I think it's the
everything?
colors, the uniform, the way they march. I think all of that
Right.
is like very FAMU-esque. But I really
I mean,
appreciate the attention to detail as it is with their formation. Yeah, this is very FAMU. very fam like. A lot of dance routine.
Hmm. Well, I mean, they're trying to keep the entertainment up.
So let me ask you this question, Maya. What do you feel about what you see from the auxiliary themselves?
Um, I wish that they would have a little bit more of a like a dedicated or like a prime spot. I haven't really been able to. Honestly, my attention has been on the band itself. Uh, I need to pay a little bit more attention, but I mean, they've been doing a lot of the band dances, but in terms of the flag twirling, let's see, I haven't seen much of it, or I didn't see much of it rather, since they're exiting the field now. Um, yeah, I think I wish that they would have had a better way to highlight them. But from what I've seen, it seems like they were in pretty in sync from what I could see. But yeah, I was also a little fumbling.
Yeah, you were still trying to get yourself together.
Yeah.
But one of the things that I actually appreciate about small programs, when you have a small program, and I actually had the availability to teach at a small program, when you have a small program, there are things that you can do, but you don't want to try to do too much to take away from the possibility of looking bad or failure to look clean. And I think they executed that very well.
Yeah, I mean, like this takes me back to what we were talking about last week, getting back to the basics. Um, what is the exact word that we used? You asked the question, the very last question you asked, you said, is something not form? Basically, it amounts to like form. Needless to say, I think this is a good representation of how implementing form, implementing the basics can definitely make or break your program. Because even though this is a smaller program, they were very exciting, very entertaining, and I think that they executed well, like you said.
I definitely agree. So let me make sure I explain the form, what they're doing. So they'll do a field show, and then another group will do what they call a fifth quarter. And that fifth quarter is they're going to be able to come and play basically fifth quarter esque. So the goal was to eliminate the DJ, which I truly appreciate. That was their goal. They didn't want any DJs or anything like that to be performing today. And so they wanted to make sure that it was band, band, band the whole time. So once one program exits the field, another program comes on the field while another program is doing their quote unquote fifth quarter performance. So I think it's really a dope format. So this is Waltrip High School.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask, is what are we looking at now? Because I couldn't hear the I couldn't hear the announcer.
So the crazy thing about the press box at Prairie View is the fact that you can't open the windows. I've never seen or heard anything like that before
What?
from a press box.
Scary.
Yeah, when we had Norfolk, you could open the windows, but here you can't open the windows.
That is not safe. What's happening?
So I'm gonna actually start off by saying this when I mention Waltrip. I think uniformity is a big thing. I think how you start is very important. Um, Coming out the way that they came out, to me,
Hmm.
is just a little sloppy. I actually would not have put the drum majors right in the middle for if you're gonna put the drum majors in the middle, then you have to make a way for them to pass through correctly that looks clean. That's just not clean to me. But maybe it wasn't an eyesore for someone else.
No, it definitely was for me. That's why my immediate reaction was, "What's happening? Are we floating? Are we even the spacing as of now? Everyone is definitely two steps, four steps, three steps, five steps on the left. Spacing it out.
Yeah, and they're still oozing over. Um, yeah. See, and these are the things that I'm just going to be quite honest. Even when we're looking at historically black colleges and all those other programs, These are the things that we're looking at. And if you're not paying attention to those little bitty details, it doesn't matter if you're on the field performing or not, if you're just playing a song, if you're going to play or park and bark, it doesn't matter. You still have to have some kind of uniformity to yourself. And all of these things matter, especially when you're being adjudicated. But when you're not being adjudicated, you don't make a big deal about it.
It's okay.
All right, this is Big Baller. Oh, so I'm gonna say this. From what I can hear, it doesn't sound bad. Um,
We
drum
got
major,
horn swings on the right,
yeah, and I'm
half
seeing,
horn swings on the left, no horn swings in the middle.
yeah, I'm seeing the same thing. So let me ask this question. So because there is a difference between um what HBCUs do versus what PWIs do, which
Oh, look
translates.
at him. He's really getting it. Mr. Bean on the saxophone on the 45 or 35. Whew, he was getting
He
it by
has
himself.
his legs are a lot more spread than everyone else. He's putting a little more umph into it. But yeah, let me ask this question. When PWIs and programs who don't quote unquote have the rhythmic value, quote unquote, as those show style bands try to perform like that, does how they um how they perform matter to you?
In trying to, you're saying like the look of the thing and trying to say, okay, when you say rhythmic, you're meaning in terms of beat and motion, the patterns. Is that what
Yeah,
we're talking about? The
I'm talking about
danceability
all this
or
dancing, all of that stuff. I mean, to me, is
um
it something they should try?
I'm not opposed to it. I just think that exactly what we were saying before, how you present, what do you look like? And as a whole, especially when you have levels to, okay, this person is maybe performing at a 3 versus this person who's performing at a 10. Those things are definitely or can be eyesores. I think that it does matter. um I'm not opposed to it. I like it, but if we're looking at what we're seeing right now, though, this wave, everyone's doing it differently. But also, formations, this may have been better vertically as opposed to horizontally, or maybe some type of diagonal to kind of take away from when everyone's in a straight line. It's much easier to see mess ups. So if there was some type of staggered issue or something like that, maybe the look of it would help kind of dwindle down the fact that the performance itself kind of looks like an ocean wave in terms of effort, I'll say, for lack of better words.
I can definitely agree with what you're saying there. I just really feel like if you're gonna attempt that, I would say just do what you do. Don't
Right.
try to do things that you know look uncomfortable, right? If you know that 90% or 10%, or excuse me, 100% of your program has little to no rhythm, then don't put them in a position to try to show off rhythm. And I don't think that that means that we don't want them to have fun. I don't think that that's what that means. But remember that what we do, and just in band in general, whether you're talking about PWI or DCI or anything like that, it all has to look correct and it all has to flow in some type of disciplined type of manner. So yeah.
I mean, I agree, but I think that also when we think about band in general, the way that we picture it in our head, it's kind of like keep up with the Joneses. So yes, we want everyone to stay in the lane. We want everyone to do what's appealing for their format and their program. But that goes back to similar conversations that we've had before. The house or the wow factor, everyone wants to be able to. I don't know, but I do agree with what you're saying. I'm not sure what is the best tactic to, I guess, hash that out.
Okay. I agree. All right. We got a new band on the field. And I'm gonna assume that these little Oompa Loompa thingies.
They look like mushrooms to me, or maybe like a
Okay, all right.
sprout.
I guess Mario Brothers. We gonna figure this out.
Absolutely not. I'm trying to see what is this in the back. Is this like a ship? Uh,
I know it's a pot. I know that.
but I'm saying, what is it? It looks like there could potentially be some sea moss or something on the bottom. It gives ship to me. Maybe we're doing something sea related, ocean. Oh, okay. He's
All right, he's saluting. All right, so they're setting up for their field show. And while they're setting up for your field show, if you're just tuning in, welcome everybody to Talk That Talk. We have the unfiltered, unscripted, uncomfortable conversations about band, music education, band culture, HBCU band culture, and more. Please make sure that as you are coming in, that you click the like button and also subscribe to the network. This is a special event. We're not doing our normal Wednesdays. We're actually doing it today on a Saturday because US Bands is hosting a event that I think is very important. I believe is very important. It is called, I want to make sure I give you the right name. It is called Show Up and Show Out on the Hill. And when we say the Hill, obviously we're talking about Prairie View A&M University. But it's a special event because of the fact that it is an adjudicated performance where you can just be you. And they are going to allow you to come in and perform the way you perform without any stipulations. And the judges that are picked have been judges that understand, that come from not only the DCI community, but also the HBCU community. So it is a fair judgment across the board. And so you don't have to change up your style or who you are just to perform in this show. So I really do appreciate US Bands. This is truly an historic event, and US Bands has a lot more things coming up in the future. And Talk That Talk is definitely going to be a part of it. Just hold on.
I'm intrigued. I really want to know how this is going to play out.
Don't give me the line. I think this is Sam Houston. No, this isn't Sam Houston. Is this Elsick? Elsick. Which is interesting. Elsick. So as a person who is from Houston, Elsick used to be a huge program back in the 90s, in the early 2000s. I'm wondering what's happening with band. I know we talk about this a lot, but this is a very, very bird's eye view, right? Elsick was a program that was around maybe 120, maybe 180 kids in the early 90s, late 2000s. What's going on with bands where this is the number of students that we have coming from a program that used to be so large? Um, we have to try to figure out and solve these problems because I think that when you go from having that many students to, and I'm not saying that this number of students is bad, but I am going to say that the numbers are dwindling, and that is a major issue.
How many competing programs are in the area? Or has anything changed in terms of the style? Has it always been this style band? I'm
As
just
far as Elsick,
yeah.
yeah, Elsick has always been Elsick. It's never they've never changed. I'm about to say he like it was a person. Yeah, they've never changed.
I'm just trying to think of just possibilities or factors that will come into play of why potentially the program is handling. Maybe it's budget. Maybe it's
But I think those things matter, you know.
okay.
First set looks really good. Shapes are good. Movement is good. So they're doing a core style show. And so to really talk about this, You don't have to do a show style show. You can do a core style show. The great thing about it is the US bands is allowing you to be who you are, and you're going to get judged accordingly. So, for instance, if you do have a program that comes in and does a show style show, they're going to be competing against a show that is doing a core style show, and they're going to judge you based off of what you do. Is the marching in time? Are you having good feet timing? Is your band program balanced? That's what it should be based on, not whether you blow that hoe or not. Okay. And so if you are loud, great. If you have a very powerful sound, great. But is it balanced? Can you hear all of the parts? So these are the things that they're looking for, whether you're loud or not, right? So we're not talking about blowing that hoe. Okay. We're talking about having a good characteristic sound and great timbre. Oh yeah, and Quan's here.
Good afternoon,
She
everybody.
ain't even know.
Hi. I didn't even know you walked in.
Yeah,
How you on the same screen and didn't even know the man walked in?
I didn't even. That's how much I wasn't paying attention. I'm looking at the.
yeah. I must say this. They're doing an awesome job thus far, and they're doing what they're doing well, and I can truly appreciate that.
I'm sold on the theatrics.
Hey man, you gotta have those visuals.
Yeah,
One of the things that UIL really harps on is visuals now, because DCI has kind of moved to having a lot of visuals in their programs, and so a lot of these programs are now moving to, or excuse me, now a lot of the judges sheets in UIL have moved to having a lot of visuals. So that's one of the things that a lot of these programs who are strictly um, core style are moving to.
which and I've spoken to other older DCI gentlemen, and some of them are. What's funny is actually upset because they actually want the old school Madison Scout, drill on the show outside of the theatrics. But I mean, to each is his own.
Well, if you know anything about just DCI and all that, yeah, it wasn't all the theatrics in there. That's actually more of the kind of winter guard kind of things that have kind of transformed into the DCI community. Now I will say this: they do have a good sound.
Very good. The pit, I can appreciate the percussion. The pit area.
See, ain't that beautiful? We got somebody who can talk about the percussion and the pit. That's amazing.
Balance sound. Yeah, area parts.
I didn't even look over at the auxiliary. I'm sorry, auxiliary.
No, auxiliary been doing that thing too. But I wonder what's the theme though.
Well, see, Miss Kitty asked the same question because she was trying to figure out what the tree was. In fact,
I mean,
This looks like a. It looks like a ship to me.
you said it looks like a ship.
Like it looks.
Oh,
It gives me aquatic. Something in the ocean. This looks like sea moss on the bottom to me.
but on the left side you have a Queen of Heart.
What?
That little
Alice in Wonderland,
Right.
Yes, they have a Queen of Heart on the side.
Queen of Heart,
Um,
and then you have the little mushroom thingies.
where
And
do you
then was
see a
that's a
queen of
swamp
hearts?
house in the back
Probably.
from Shrek.
So they're, I don't know, Alice in Wonderland. That's what I'm going with.
Yeah. What do we see? Queen of hearts? Oh,
And so
this
those are
little
bunnies.
stage.
So I'm assuming it's their second movement. Very warm sound.
You got to make that face sometimes when you got a good sound.
I know initially, Julian, you said they were a larger band. Of course, I'm not from here, but I must say that even though they may have diminished in size, their quality is still there.
And yeah, I will say that about Elsig. For years, they have always had a quality sound. And I can't remember too many times during my time where they did not or were not exceptional at UIL or any of their performances. So that is a good thing that there is some consistency throughout the year.
Do we have a time limit, or are there time parameters? Do they have to stay within if it's like 10 minutes, 12 minutes, 8 minutes?
That's a good question. I don't know. I'll probably ask Eric later on, but I'm pretty sure it's between maybe 12, 13 minutes.
Either this is the most entertaining that I've been thus far, or this is just simply the longest because I've been dialed in for so long. That's what made me think about it. Is everyone utilizing the full length of time, or was it just kind of based on what the program presented? Was it pick your own, or were the parameters set?
Well, I think, and so here's the universal difference between doing a show style show and a core style show. When you're doing a show style show, and you said it yourself, well, I think it was on last show, where you know the format. You know they're gonna come in, do
True.
drill, uh, maybe hit the dancers tune, maybe a flag tune, dance routine, boom, you're off. Whereas when you're doing a core style show, um, and you know because you were with at well, I was about to say you were at Skyline, uh, you were at Townview, but you know there's three movements to your show, and so
True.
they're moving through these three movements and whatever it is, and they're making it work. So I know it seems like it may be a lot of time, but for us, it's just like you know what comes next, boom, 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 and
True.
so it's kind of like, eh.
It's, I guess with DCI, their format is kind of fast, slow, fast to a degree.
Right.
Yeah.
So typically, your second movement is going to be a slower piece. Um, Within either the first or the third movement, you're going to have a drum feature, and so that's kind of what's expected. Um, and it's pretty basically set up like that in all of DCI, fast, slow, fast. So
And during my time with Prophet, we kind of emulated some of those things as well. That's why we had our drum features really after the second portion of the drill.
I mean, but if you really want to talk PV, I mean, PV became just drum features for a while. I mean, am I lying?
Oh, you're not lying.
Yeah,
It was good though.
it was good. It was good. You know, everybody knew who the boxer was.
Shout out to the BO.
All right, so give me a synopsis on what you saw from that show, line.
Are we done?
Yeah.
I want more.
Oh.
You were just complaining it was long.
No. Well, let me be clear. I wasn't complaining that it was long. I was just saying I appreciate the length in which they were performing. I was fascinated and intrigued the whole time. Now, with these little mushroom or colorful things, I thought we were going to get some action out of those. I kind of wish that we would have saw some movement, or
Let's give another hand for that.
they would have utilized those a bit more, or any synopsis of what I saw.
Um,
I don't know. I very much just enjoyed it.
Okay, Quan.
It was
I
fluid.
think. Oh, my bad.
No, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say Quan. I think you came in at the last minute, but were you at the beginning or you
Yeah.
came in the middle?
I was at the beginning.
So what do you think about it?
I mean, I think thus far this is the first band that I've seen, and I'm truly impressed. It's not about the size. I mean, the tone was there. They utilized and did their field show and their style to the best of their ability. They used the field east and west properly.
coming to the
I
field,
mean,
Missouri
they-
City, Texas. We have Thurgood Marshall High School.
Right there, good. I mean, they did an awesome job for me. There's a little, discrepancies here and there on the lines when they were making straight lines, But other than that, it was fine. Now I do wish they utilized those mushrooms a little bit more because it's kind of like what were they there for, or
Right.
what was the particular theme of it. But I mean overall, awesome show. I wish they would have had a little bit more energy on the last movement since it was the closer. But outside of that, I mean, awesome show.
Okay. So, just like I said before, they're kind of on a field show, um, fifth quarter field show kind of routine. So, who we have coming up next is Thurgood Marshall. Being a resident of Houston, um, a product of Mo City. Shout out to Mo City, Wheeler Ridge High School. Um, Thurgood Marshall was not a program when I was in Missouri City. They came around after I had graduated. But for a long time, they were a small program, maybe about 30 kids, 40 kids. But as the new director has come in, the numbers are truly growing with this program, and I'm really happy to see it. Now, I will say it hurts to see it too, because Wheeler Ridge, back during my time was 280 kids, and we were the only school at the time for people that looked like us, that was doing a show style, a core style. So just to give you some brief history, when Hightower came around and Marshall came around, it took a lot of the kids from Wheeler Ridge High School. And so a lot of these kids back during my time would have been at Wheeler Ridge. But I am happy to see a program, and not only just a program, but a program that's growing. So I am happy to see that. And I believe the director is from Texas Southern.
He is. Shout out to Darwin. He's a graduate from Sterling High School. Good guy.
Darwin.
Hmm.
Lewis.
Oh yeah, I believe so. He was. I believe he was a director at Sunset at one point as well.
Oh, okay. Well, he has Sunset, then yeah, he's pretty good. He got
Yeah.
something. Uh-oh, I feel the air. See, the air is on now. I mean, you chose to sit down because we getting hit hard with this air.
Yeah.
Oh no, I don't
But
need to be getting hit.
but
I'm already like feeling chilly.
but I must say this though. What I do appreciate from what I've seen, we're just looking at the appreciation overall for band pageantry right now. It's not about what's your preference, because like we always say, a good sound is a good sound. But what's going on right now is, I agree, Julian and Miss Kitty. It's this is historical. Like honestly, to see that different styles of band can come together and just do them is what the world should look like. Honestly.
Absolutely, I agree. Well, I agree. I don't got my soundboard today. But no, I definitely agree, man. The fact that we have so much discrimination on the fact of just sounding good, right?
Yeah.
Just pure musicality, whether you do a show style or core style, should it sound good? And that's what I think it is. And the dissension sometimes is very frustrating. Not bad,
Mhm.
not bad. And like I told you before, up here in the third floor on the press box at Prairie View A&M University, unfortunately the windows don't open. Prairie View, it's a brand new building. You couldn't get one of these rooms on the third floor with the window open. But um, we still respect you. We love you. But one of the things that we can hear is we do hear balanced sound throughout the program. Good use of flag work on the side. Nobody's doing anything differently. Looks very clean. What do you see on your end, Maya?
Throw them counts.
This is a task for me because talking, watching, listening, maybe I'm not as good as multitasking as I thought. Because I'm like, okay, I'm trying to zero in on all of this at one time while still being able to communicate what I'm saying. Um, Honestly, I want to say I think I'm enjoying the flag one more than the majorettes. I assume they're majorettes. I don't know what they classify themselves as. Um, I don't know if the energy is coming from the flags themselves or just the group overall, but definitely more energy coming from the right side as opposed to the left at this time. They're both doing a great job, but my eye keeps getting pulled to the right.
Maya, I have a question for you. Do you think the aspect
That's the
of
thing that
major
counts.
race, uh, the I guess the artistry of major rate is kind of dying down, like that twirling?
Yes. I think that it's becoming a lost art form. So I don't know the thing between like twirlers and dancers and flag line. That's what has always been some type of a competition. But I'm not sure if programs. I don't know if it's just students aren't able to. They don't know the skill to be able to twirl, or if it's just a matter of something that hasn't been portrayed in the program itself. Let's say one of these young ladies on the field knows how to twirl a baton, but they don't necessarily have baton twirlers within their program. I'm not sure if it's that, but it definitely is a lost art form. And I think that, so, okay, let's think about JSU back in the day, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they were known for their twirling, especially the male twirlers. And I think that with a lot of the collegiate schools, we don't see as many baton twirlers, even at TSU. I think maybe they only have like one or two this year, but I'm not sure if that's something that dwindles down from the collegiate level now that, we don't really see it as much that the high schools are kind of taking that into account. But it used to be a really big deal, especially in Dallas, growing up. But I'm not sure. Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's definitely losing its art, losing its form, or it's just not visible to us.
That's what, because we kind of have a history of that at my high school, but
Hmm.
we were rebuilding that aspect. Boys doing
I
that
think
gangster
it's.
paradise.
I'm definitely not opposed to it. It's just the way it's going to be integrated into the program itself. Now, when we start doing too many or all the auxiliaries are performing at one time, your eyes start crossing and zigzagging across the floor, and that can be distracting. But
I know in Louisiana they still big with it though.
yeah,
They be having them little pom pom
on their boots, yeah.
yeah, them little taps.
Yeah, Louisiana stayed hard with it. Hey, real quick, if you're just tuning in, yeah, man, I'm getting my brain all messed up. If you're just tuning in, welcome everybody to Talk That Talk. We have the unfiltered, unscripted, uncomfortable conversations about music education, band, HBCU band culture, and more. Please make sure that as you come in, you click that like button, and also that you go over to the YouTube page and subscribe to the network. We are here right now at what is a very, very historic event. US Bands is hosting a show up. What's it called? Show up. I want to make sure I say it. Show up and show out on the hill. I said it right. Show up and show out on the hill, man. Where if you don't know anything about the history of US Bands, US Band is a organization that really, really supports a lot of the DCI and nationally and internationally. And what they have done is they have partnered with a great friend of mine and his organization by making sure that everybody's voice and everybody's program is heard. Um, so what they're doing is they're having adjudicated performances for all of those. It doesn't matter what you do, whether it is show style, whether it's court style, they're giving you a fair shot to be judged. And so that's what we are here for. And they're going to have a lot more things coming up throughout the future. And US bands, or excuse me, Talk That Talk is going to be a part of it. So just be ready for you to see us in a lot more of these events. Also, please make sure that if you go inside of the comment section, we have something that's called Buy Us a Coffee. We are here today, and while we're here, buy us a coffee. Go ahead and click that link and go ahead and support us. It doesn't matter. You can buy us one coffee, two coffee, three coffees. We are here, so buy us a coffee. All
Yeah,
right. I appreciate y'all. And who we got on this field right now?
I am losing my mind
MSD.
Wow.
because I was about to say it's giving very much PV. Lo and behold, it's clear.
That is PB.
Exactly, but I didn't really because we had been looking at high school bands over and over and over, so I was assuming the next. So I was like, oh, down to the uniforms. I love it, but clearly I had a whole moment.
Let's see
See,
what.
this
I
is
was like, this cadence sounds a little familiar
this is
now.
why I keep you around.
This,
I'm serious. I even down to the cadence. I'm like, listen, it's getting very familiar,
this the
but
most
I
critical
wonder
you're gonna
why.
ever see
So
Quando in
so
the world.
Quan is in it right now, man. You got to remember this is the MSD. So he has to show love because it's not the BO, but it's the MSD. So
Most definitely. So,
I've tried my hand at learning
you try what?
tennis. I've tried my hand at learning tennis. I already know you get that. See that. I know that much.
I'm telling you right now, I know about 65% of this cadence on the snare part.
I bet you I know more than you. Somebody get the sticks out right now.
They in the car.
You ain't got no hands. You ain't got no hands. Go get them sticks, man. Go get them sticks. I don't get.
All right. Don't get embarrassed on live
You
television.
know what's crazy? It's like I'm hearing this cadence and I'm like, I'm trying not to mug up on this camera.
Hey man, don't be that guy.
Nah, I'm trying not
Don't be
to.
that guy.
To be like, I still got it.
Right, exactly. Very much.
Yeah,
And that's what homecoming is for, man. That's what
and I
homecoming is
don't
for.
even
Not
do
let
that.
me strap up
I
right
don't be
now.
doing that because the way this left knee set up.
Also, I just want to make sure to let you guys know we're going to be doing some interviews today. So stick around with us as we get through this process. We're going to be interviewing a couple of band directors as well as some of the auxiliary directors. So, like I said, we're gonna be in the mix. So don't worry about it. Just hang tight with us. Quan is looking right now. He ain't. I don't even know if he blinked.
Not yet.
Listen, have your moment because wait till these foxes get out there. I'm gonna be doing the same thing.
So they're going section by section, then the whole. They're doing section by section, and then they're doing full band.
So no, this is just a intermission between the next performance. That's all. PV is going to perform after everyone is done.
Okay. I do want to give a shout out to Legacy, the Scott twins, Shuni and Money, the Sheldon Scott's and Yvette Scott's boys. They marched for Prairie View as well, and that's the one that's tapping off in the middle. So that's family. So I gotta show them some love.
Just want to say Quan was very, very excited when he heard the thump of the bass drum.
I did. Yeah, I did. Yeah. They marched in 6. That's cool. The largest we ever marched was 8.
See that? There you go. See that's some box history. So everybody to know that.
Question. Hey, what? Are we talking about the size of the drum or are we talking about people?
We marched 8 bass drums.
Okay.
I believe it was 07 or 08.
They are thumping. They are thumping. See, this is the bad part about having two people who march in the storm in here. Because Maya is either really into it or thinking about counts right now.
All of it.
Yeah.
At the same time.
And Quan is reliving his glory days.
Am I?
And I'm just sitting up here like I just got tired of hearing the same old dad cadence for 5 years marching in front of it. I remember here's a real thing.
Now don't be mad. That's a nasty case. Now you don't do that.
First of all, I wasn't mad, but I did ask this question. I went to, I can't remember who it was, but I went to somebody in the section. I said, man, do y'all ever play a different cadence? They said, no, we don't. I was like, so we just don't get no variety. We just gonna hit this every single time. He was like, absolutely. He's like, that's the history. I was like, all right, I guess. Just ain't never gonna march in with nothing else.
Well, no, because it's actually a different cadence. It's just sequence in different parts. So you have Fam, which is the first part, Fam Scaly, which is the second part, CC, GI, Twilight, and then the last part, Messing Around. So you do have different parts, but that is our interest cadence that was established. I think around like 87, the first one, and then they just built it over some time. So yeah.
Now, you know what I always wish that we had or we utilized like a slower cadence instead of the sequence. Only because like marching, I get tired of doing like
What's
sometimes I be want to like slow up or
See,
be able to do like a
trying to
slow strut.
you trying to do that ASU Sting X kind of stuff where they hit the slow daddy in the
Listen,
front,
yeah, that Death March type
yeah,
thing.
and then
Yeah.
get
I
extra fast at the
and
end.
listen, and it's cute. I've always had a thing for it. Listen, I will give credit where it's due. I like it, and I definitely wanted to be able to do it too.
Well, what's crazy is when I believe Prof Edwards first arrived, they was playing Midnight, which is an old Southern cadence that Prof Jones brought, and it's really slow. It's almost a Death March type, and then they began developing this.
All this box history we're getting, man, that's so beautiful, man.
Crazy.
You know what I'm saying? We don't get this. Hey, but I mean, I think it's beautiful. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate hearing these kind of historical things, man, because we don't always get it. You know, unless you are involved in it or actually in it, you don't ever hear these stories. So, you know, I like hearing these old things. Even me as an alpha, you know, I like actually hearing old Q information or old Kappa information because I think it's just interesting. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't really care.
And I was starting with the hey, I leave that. Nah, I respect that too. For real.
Yeah, man.
Okay, so you know when we think about different instruments, or have you ever heard, you know, some people trying to hate on or say that some instruments are less, not necessarily valuable, but not as hard to do or play. Now, I used to think, I'll give you them cymbals, I can play them. Now,
Cheated.
that is one. I'm being honest.
Look at here. Let me go ahead and just break this down for you right quick.
That's the slowest part.
Yeah,
You're gonna get my.
I gotta go Barry
They're
White.
hard to play. I've been clamped by attempting, but being able to like to be able to close them, like
That's the swamp.
very much that. What I'm saying, like
So I thought that too.
the technique behind
I
it.
thought that too, Mike. And guess
Listen.
what? I did that one time in front of Hobart.
I'm a trumpet player, and I know my lane. But I know that when I became a director and I didn't have a drum line, I had to teach. And I put them cymbals there in my hands. And I played I think 4 crashes and 3 chokes. And I was like, yo,
I'm done.
yeah,
Did
these
you pinch
yeah,
on?
yeah, and then you know, I got that flat beat on my arm, so you know, I got a little pinch in there. Yeah, it didn't help.
Because you gotta tuck it.
Look
You gotta
at
tuck that
mine.
elbow.
Look at mine. Look at her.
You know what she thinking about? She thinking about that. Ooh.
Foxes up that boot
See, I
camp.
wouldn't go say that part. I wouldn't go say that part. But she said
Well, I say for you.
Look, I want to ask you guys this question. I got to ask you all this question right now. So that part, saying that right before the kickoff, right before y'all start. How long have y'all been saying that?
Oh, that's Box Fox, bro.
I never. Let me tell you, I was in front of that band from 2012 to 2016. Well, at the beginning of 2017, right? I didn't hear that until 2014.
No, we were saying that 06,
see why.
07, 08.
Yeah, I was gonna say
I never
even when I
heard it
prepped,
until
yeah,
2014.
Oh, no.
Now, when I first heard it in 2014, I was like, yo, do y'all say that? Like, y'all just gonna talk about these young ladies like that?
And they was hyped with it. Ooh.
Every time.
That's the thing. Like, I remember my crab year. Like, I would just be waiting. It'll get you hyped. Like, I just made that. I'd be like,
I ain't gonna lie.
I'm serious.
When developed the gang sign, I was like,
Not gang
when they
sign.
hit that little iPad right there, I was like, come through, Foxes.
Yes, sir.
Every time I heard that, I thought that was so disrespectful. But that's like a thing.
What,
y'all
Foxes
do.
people?
Yes.
Like, it might be on the streets, but when it comes to
You know what makes it
For
worse?
what?
Like really, you know what makes it worse though? Like camera recording has gotten so much better. Back in the day, you couldn't really tell that that's what they were saying. Now, every time you can hear them say that.
One, two, three.
Quan is in it right now.
We gonna have to double record Maya when the Foxes come out, cause she gonna
Look,
be
we
like, I
did.
know that. I
I'm
know
telling
that.
you. I'm telling you
I'm
right
just
now.
gonna put me on mute because I'm gonna be. I'm not gonna be able to hear. I'm gonna be
I'm
zoned.
telling you right now. As much footage I just got of Maya right now, just from off MSD alone,
Back fuck box.
I'm gonna be chopping this bad boy up.
Click.
I'm gonna chop all that up. I'm just letting you
I
know.
didn't even think about that.
What?
You can actually see me.
You done spitted yourself now.
That's fine. I'm always ready.
I will say this though. One of the coolest things that I did like about MSD or bot, whichever one, because they both do the same thing, is the tenor drum when they hit that roll back daddy. I think that is so sweet.
Roll back.
I think I don't know what it's called, but I think it's sweet.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I truly believe that prior to the way that Prairie View travels now, that the Marcher Stone was one of the best kept secrets in Texas. They just didn't go nowhere, other than Cotton Bowl, who went around. In my opinion, you can say what you want to. I'm just saying.
I told you. There was nothing about Prairie View during my times.
But you know what? You and Rick, I know why y'all best friends.
Why you say that?
Because y'all two are. It's like y'all. It's like I'm gonna go against the grain on purpose.
You said what?
It's like y'all be like, I'm gonna go against the grain on purpose.
But that's not going
No,
against.
I'm just joking. No.
Look, I'm not biased. I just put it that way.
I feel that.
You know what I'm saying?
So what made you choose being in Texas, right? In one of the great band states. What made you say, okay, Prairie View is not my cup of tea, and Texas Southern is not my cup of tea?
Mm-hmm. So you mean when it came to university, what made me bypass both PV and
Or even Louisiana? That's okay.
so all right, I guess it's time to hear my story, I guess. No, when I came out of high school, it was really one of those kind of things where I was like, I wanted to go somewhere. Well, no, let me tell you the truth. My junior year, me and my crab brothers, we were gonna go to Jackson. We were all geared to go to Jackson. Oh, we got a 10-minute break. Good. But we were all geared to go to Jackson. And then I saw Norfolk my sophomore year. And then I didn't see them again my junior year. So Miss Sanders came and she showed us a recruitment video because she was trying to recruit for us in 2000. And so she came back. She didn't come back in 2001, but then she came back in 2002. But she came real late in 2002. So we had me and my crab brothers, we had all gotten together and we were like, yeah, we were going to go to Jackson. At that time, I had auditioned for a lot of people. So I had auditioned for UAPB and Tennessee State, Tennessee State, Texas Southern. And then I had come to Prairie View and I had done this thing called Trumpet Day. Where my good friends, and I call them my brothers, and they really are my brothers, Deontay and Gerald, came and they were like, bro, you need to come to the Trumpet Day, come meet Prof Ed and blah, blah, blah. So I came to the Trumpet Day, met Prof Ed, and Prof Ed was like, yeah, man, come on up. We would love to have you. And it just didn't interest me. But I still, I respected it. But so what ended up happening from there is my crab brothers at the last minute decided that they wanted to go to Southern. And don't get me wrong, I used to watch Southern all the time. Between my two favorite bands back then, I wanted to be Trump Funk. I didn't necessarily want to be a screaming demon, but I appreciated, huh? I don't know if they still got them, but I know that I thought Southern was a great band back in the day, but I just didn't want to go to Southern, and so I made the decision not to go to Jackson because my Crab Brothers didn't go to Jackson, and I didn't want to go by myself at the time, and so I thought Norfolk was super different, and that's really where I wanted to go if I didn't go to Jackson. Um, and so when Norfolk came back in '02, I saw that '01 Dizzy video where they were playing the horns, playing the horns on their two different hands, and that's the thing that sold it for me. And I like I said, I thought Norfolk was different. I wanted to be like mad different. No, it was the Battle of the Bands. It was 2001 Battle of the Bay, and yeah, man, because that Howard clip is from my year. That was '03 when they were out we were outside. Yeah, that was '03. But yeah, so that's what made me pass up TSU and Prairie View. And to be quite honest, I really wasn't going to Norfolk right off top. I really did not hear from Norfolk. I didn't get a scholarship or anything from Norfolk until the summer because I did the application, but I had not auditioned. So I didn't take my SAT. So anybody listening out there, let me tell you guys this. Please make sure that if you have kids and all that all that kind of stuff, please make sure you get your SATs, ACTs out in time, right? Because I took my SAT the day I graduated. Like that morning, I took my SAT, and then I left my SAT, put on my cap and gown, and tried to hurry up to the Compact Center. Yeah, it was called the Compact Center. Yeah, before it was Joel Osteen's church, and actually it was actually called the Summit, and then it got changed to the Compact Center. So, but needless to say, I graduated, but I still had not heard back from Norfolk because I didn't have my application. So I actually registered for TSU. And so I was registered for TSU. I was going to go to TSU. I cried when I registered because that's not really where I wanted to go, but I surely didn't want to go to PV at the time. But it eventually worked out. I ended up getting my application in and going down to Norfolk and auditioning. But yeah, that's my story. That's the reason why I completely passed it up. I didn't want to do everything that my friends and everybody else was doing. I just wanted to do something completely different. So yeah, that's there you go. That's my story.
I'm moderating while you give your story.
Yeah, appreciate it.
What about you? What made you select Prairie View out of all the institutions?
Well, I mean, to be honest, it was a no-brainer. So, I mean, prior to understanding Prairie View's history, legacy, and traditions in terms of the school itself, the reason why I came here, honestly, was to be a Black Fox. So, being born and raised in Dallas, going to the Cotton Bowl since I was knee high to a grasshopper, you know what I'm saying, like year over year, and then also going to Townview, that's what really piqued it. My sister went to Townview. She was in Talented and Gifted Marionette. So it was already in the family. So I went to Townview as well. But being in the band at Townview, I mean, many will say that it's kind of like a shoe-in, or there's some prominent aspects of um, Prairie View at Townview. So, and especially, the fall fling and things of that nature. Just the Black Foxes were always prevalent in my life. So I was always drawn to it. Um, Now, if we want to get down to the nitty gritty, there was one point in time where Townview girls aren't necessarily making the Black Fox line, and there's some stuff behind that, and so I wasn't sure if I would even be able, be granted the opportunity to be a Black Fox, even though I always wanted to be one, just due to those reasons. But I mean, I tried out, made it, and I mean that's really it. It's all I ever knew. I spent, especially my senior year, junior and senior year, I would go to practice and come home and watch Fox videos till 2 and 3 in the morning and go to school and do the same thing. the next day, day over day over day. I just lived and breathed it. It was just something about it that drew me to it. So that's really, it was easy as that. Now I did want to go to Southern. I wanted to try out for the Dancing Dolls, but me Madre was like very much no, because I graduated high school at 16. I was gonna turn 17 that June, and she was very much against me being out of state, being so young, and by myself. So that kind of X those opportunities out. I mean, I was aware of the Stingers. I was aware of a lot of the, different SWAC teams, but I just wanted to go to PV. I wanted to be a Black Fox. There was no other choice for me. Now, honestly, the motion, they were cool, especially in Germany's era. But it just wasn't anything that attracted me. So it was never a thought of, would I go to PV or TSU? But yeah, that's really how it happened for me.
All right. Kwan, we gonna get to you in a minute because you done got our whole story out of here. We gonna get you. But we're gonna keep going. We got Cedar Hill High School on the field now. Cedar Hill High School is out in the DFW area where I am at, so we all travel the same distance. So we're gonna watch Cedar Hill High School go ahead and take the field. But one of the things I will say, congratulations to Cedar Hill, straight ones and UIL this year. So I'm looking forward to a good show that they're about to present to us. So let's watch Cedar Hill show and let's go ahead and give our critiques. Maya, watch something specific. Don't you, there you
I'm
go.
trying.
You see how big her eyes got?
This is me focused.
There you go.
Same hand movement. I guess I pay attention to the odd things, I guess you would say. But that should represent and reflect how the band operates. I'm
Mm-hmm.
ready to see that.
And shout out to the band directors as well. All the band directors participating today. Shout out to them. Also, let me go ahead and get this in before they get started. If you're just tuning in, welcome to Talk That Talk, where we have the unfiltered, unscripted, uncomfortable conversations. Please make sure that you hit that like button as soon as you come in and also subscribe to the network. Right now, we have Cedar Hill High School on the field. Okay.
Man, it's nice right here. Nice lines.
What I can appreciate is even if they don't have those students missing, their attention to their spacing was very, very spot on.
Most definitely. Can I be honest? When I'm happy that this school is a representation of traditional show style bands, and they're doing it uh, at a high level.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You missed the first group.
Hmm?
Um, I can't remember what school that was. Very small group, very FAMU esque.
Oh, Sam Houston.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I knew that was Sam Houston.
yeah. So I did see. I was below. I did see their show.
Okay, but I could appreciate them from being a smaller program, but really did what they needed to do to stay consistent with one another.
Most definitely. One thing I can say about looking at the show, these students will be able to transition at any historical black college or predominantly white institution with ease because they understand the assignment.
Wow, nice formation.
Yeah,
Good station.
good sound,
Yes,
well balanced.
absolutely.
And I've not heard a hungover note, overblown, anything thus far.
Their releases are very good. And I can agree with you. Them transitioning from high school to any program, definitely. I 100% agree. Their attention to detail is very, very good.
Yeah.
Spacing is really well. It, and I don't want to be this guy, but I'm going to go ahead and say
Mhm.
there are some HBCUs that'll drill this clean.
Facts.
But what does that say? Because if the HBCUs and the universities are supposed to be at the higher level,
Mhm.
and you have high school programs that are, in my opinion, out drilling you,
Oh,
what does that say?
Come on, come through. Pinwheels.
what does it say? Do you blame the band directors? Do you blame the staff? Do you blame the students?
And we can ride together. But one thing also, even from the drill perspective, they never lost, even though they were drilling pinwheeling, they never lost their sound.
They
You
didn't.
still understood uh, what song they were playing. They're playing Michael Jackson, "Rock with You" right now. Um, I like how the flags are, intertwined in the show. They're choosing different flags. You know, they're hitting the lines correct.
You know what I wish, though?
Well,
And maybe I'm just now realizing it. I really would have liked more representation within the drill from the guard, from the flag line, instead of just throwing them in the back
mhm.
and, having them use their silk back there. I would actually like to see the presentation within the drill.
Yeah. As a percussionist, I'm not gonna lie. I really wish I see a drum feature, or at least a form of a drum break.
Hmm.
Drummers need love too.
Well, no, I'm not going to disagree with you, but what I will say is I think that we have, in our culture, have diminished them to just the beat, just keep the tempo, you know. Uh, and this is no shot at Gremlin, but even the big bass drum in the middle, just keep the tempo,
My
just
God.
beat the drum, you know. Um, but then here's the other half of that: putting a drum feature out there. Who is that for? Right. And when I say that, I can say that and think about the box, because y'all may have been playing hella cheeses and stuff like that, but a normal person wouldn't recognize that. But you all may also made it entertaining,
Correct.
right? Whereas somebody going out there and playing a whole bunch of technical stuff that we wouldn't understand and it's not entertaining,
Right.
like,
It's like, what's the point? Well, and see, that's the dichotomy. Let me be quiet because my ears locked in.
she's in right now. I ain't seen her blink this whole time.
Can I say this though?
Is this working day and night?
Yeah. My only critique of the dance line, because I think they're doing fantastic right now. By the way, I guess I just don't like, how like the captain, I have one color. Like
And the
I guess,
co-captains?
yeah, I just like everybody in one. And no knock to them. That may be their tradition.
I think that's that Texas dance thing where it's like that. I guess it's the Southern Belle thing where they do that in Texas
Mhm.
bands. And so I think that's just kind of traditional as it relates to Texas. I don't know. When Maya wakes up, then we can ask her.
Yeah. That was good.
Yeah.
Man,
Um,
they deserve one.
Wait, Maya's awake. We got to listen to it.
Oh,
I don't know if it's a Texas thing per se. Even the Foxes back in the day, that
a drum feature.
would have um the captain would have a different color or a different style uniform than everyone else.
Hmm.
It's a lot of schools that do that, colleges included, that
Really?
have always done it. Yeah, if you look at I'll find a picture, but I know Miss Shawn just posted a picture this past week. Um, the line was in purple, and I think that the captain, hers is either white or gold. But yeah, now the meaning behind it. When I was in school, when I was a town, we all had the same uniform, and just like when I was on Fox, we all had the same uniform. But I don't know. I feel left and right about it.
So they're doing the feature inside of the dance block.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, just kind of going back to what you said, Maya. You brought up TV doing it back in the days. Um, that's still Texas though.
Well, I've seen Jackson State.
Okay.
JSU has done it. Singers have done it in the past. I mean, they've done it recently too.
Okay.
Even well, I was gonna say Kilgore Rangerettes. They do it, but that's still Texas.
It look good, man.
Hmm.
I wouldn't.
That's what's
I'm
up.
sure Brown is cringing since he hates band dances so much.
Who?
Brown, Ricardo.
Oh yeah.
Them tubas are playing.
Yeah, man. Now my question is this: I wonder if this director went to Southern because it has a Southern feel to it
Hmm.
for the Dance
I
Routine.
know yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Him, the previous director, also went to Southern.
Now, of course, I'm not familiar. So, has Cedar Hill always been a band of this caliber for some time?
I
I don't
don't
think
know.
so.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't know Cedar Hill prior to me being at PV. And so my time when I was at PV, I had known Will Young to be there, who was the former director, who's now the fine arts director at Duncanville. So from when he was there, this is kind of where I relate to Cedar Hill.
They definitely have
How many symbols are they marching? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
even from
10.
the announcer, it has a Southern feel, really.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also want to shout out one of my former students here at Prairie View A&M, who was uh, also assistant director, James Gibson at
Shout out to
Cedar Hill.
Gil.
Yeah, man,
It sounds good, bro.
they do.
If they
They
did
do.
that, they deserve the one.
They do. Yeah, and like I said, congratulations to them. They definitely received a one at UIL, straight ones at UIL, and I definitely want to say congratulations to them. Well deserved band program to
Most
receive
definitely.
those ones, man. Definitely, definitely. Let me go ahead and do our thing, man. If you're just tuning in, welcome to Talk That Talk, where we dang, who was talking right over me?
They did an awesome
All right,
job.
there we go. Welcome everybody to Talk That Talk. We have the unfiltered, unscripted, uncomfortable conversations about band, HBCU band, HBC band culture, and more. Please make sure that as soon as you come in, you click that like button. All right. Hey, I want to talk about these like buttons. We're gonna talk about it also on Wednesday. But man, come on. As long as you are in here, it does not take long to click a like button. Click the like button. All right. Just click the like button. As soon as you come in, just click it. Come on. You got to support. Click the like button. All right. So as soon as you come in, click the like button. Also, please make sure that you go over to the YouTube page and subscribe to the network. All right. Please make sure you subscribe to the network. We appreciate all the love. And also, if you like the content that we continue to give, go inside of the comment section, click that link to buy us a coffee, and we would greatly, greatly appreciate it. All right. All right. We're going to keep this content, but also continue to stick around with us. We're going to have some interviews coming up later from a couple of directors, and we're going to try to make sure that we give you all the content that you need. Appreciate you guys for this historic moment. Please make sure that you share it out to as many people as you possibly can. This is definitely a historic moment as it relates to band, especially in the Texas area. If you don't know anything about what's going on right now, we are here at the Show Up and Show Out on the Hill, and this is actually hosted by USBands. If you don't know anything about USBands, USBand is a national and international organization that specifically, in usual cases, deals with not UIL, but DCI. They be talking. I'm talking. I'm gonna let him finish because he be talking. Come on, man. Thank you, Stanberry. All right, but anyway, US Bands is a national international program that actually deals a lot with DCI and core style programs. But the great thing about this is they have gotten together and working with great friends of mine in his program and a lot of what he has going on. And so what they have going on right now is they are giving an adjudicated they are giving adjudicated performance for all band programs, especially here in the state of Texas. They had one in Atlanta as well. And you are just the thing is, you come as you are, and you will be judged accordingly. One of the things that we have had a lot of trouble in, especially in Texas in the past, is we were unable to just be ourselves. And so I just want to make sure that we mention this historic moment, and we are always Talk That Talk is always present for these historic moments because we are very big on moving the conversation forward. We are very big on trying to make sure that we promote music education and band and that culture, HBC band culture and everything. So moving it forward, it means coming to these events and supporting these events. Now, I'm going to be quite honest that I think it is very, very important that not only that this happens at the high school level, but I really believe that it needs to be happening at the HBCU level as well. And the reason why I say that, there he goes. I'll wait. Thank you. But the reason why I say that is because if we are going to continue to look at ourselves, or excuse me, not look at ourselves, but if we're going to continue to be university programs, we are supposed to be the elite programs, right? Well, if we're the elite programs, then it doesn't make any sense that we can continue to allow our bands to be judged at the high school level, but we refuse to allow ourselves to be judged and be critiqued and actually give ourselves some type of criteria to fall under. And that doesn't mean about that. We're not talking about if you can blow the walls down. That's not what we're talking about. You can still have a full sound or a big sound and still have a balanced sound. And so that's what we're talking about. If you sound good, and you are judged on that accordingly, not if you can blow that hoe. And so that's one of the things that I think is very necessary. Yes, it's cool if you can blow that hoe, but does it sound good? Right? Are we paying attention to our attacks and our releases? And so I think that's one of the things that we have to look for and look into. And I think that this is why this program is, and what's going on right now, is very, very important. All right. Who we have on the field right now? Waltrip High School. They're going to be preparing for their performance. And like I said before, this is a thing where it doesn't have to be a show style. It doesn't have to be a core style show. It can be whatever show that you deem necessary and worthy to be given, and you'll be judged for that. So you're going to see all different types of things, and that's what I appreciate. Also, thank you everybody who has came in and given the comments. Please make sure that you go ahead and get those likes up. Every time I see a viewer come in, just go ahead and click the like button. Doesn't take long. Support. Remember, I don't care what color you are, just support. I was gonna say support black because we some chocolate folks on here, except for Maya Caramel. See, she don't even know what's going on, right? I don't even know what you just said. Yeah, okay. But just go ahead and click that like button, man. Go ahead and click the like button. Also, make sure that you look in the link and go ahead, and if you got time and you got a couple of minutes and you got a couple of extra bucks, 50 cent, $1, buy us a coffee. It don't matter. We would appreciate you to buy us a coffee. That'll make our day. All right. All right. Wall Trippers on the field. We're gonna get to critiquing them in a second.
What I said was,
See, I'm about to get in trouble.
I said thank you because I don't even get that. I'll
Oh,
take Karma
okay. Well, what do you get? Light skin?
or white.
No, you ain't white.
The people be saying I don't have no melanin. I'm like, oh, I gotta look.
They lying.
Very, very left end of the spectrum. People trying to make me
Yeah,
look it.
you caramel. Let's see, he's saying that,
I was
but
trying to read the comments. What he say? I was trying to read the comments.
I'm sorry. I'm looking at Maya's face.
Miss Shaw, you not here? I thought I was gonna see you,
What was
girl.
that? That was just a practice run.
Say it again.
Because they performed once before. That was just an earlier run.
No, so they were giving their fifth quarter performance.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Appreciate you, good brother. Yeah, make sure to tell these people to get these likes up, man.
I was just gonna say it's the people in the comments clubbing for me. Love to see it.
He gonna be a mod next Wednesday. I'm gonna make you a mod on next Wednesday, so just be ready.
Ahmad?
Yeah.
A moderator.
Oh, I was gonna say my dog.
See?
That too, right?
You do not know you don't know your social media platform lingo. Content
I'm
creator
never a
lingo.
mod.
You gotta know it.
Dusty, Dusty.
So quick,
Oh, George.
yeah, that's what I'm about to say. So quick information on Waltrip High School. Waltrip High School has been an award-winning program for quite a while.
30 years.
Yeah.
30 years, bro.
Now I will say this: they're another one of those programs that had larger numbers, and now this is what we're seeing. So it begs the question, and I'm gonna really ask this: is it Texas?
Uh, in my opinion, for this particular school, I think they just have been affected by COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I said, what Mr. Jesse Espinosa is doing over there is great things, and he's been over there possibly since like the late '80s, early '90s for sure.
Yeah, for a long time.
Yeah. So I mean, he was there around the same time Mr. Thornton transitioned to Woolridge. So I mean, he's been there a minute, but I think honestly, depending the area and specifically when you speak about like HISD, I mean, a lot of schools are still recovering from COVID.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and being that it's a non-centralized district, students, for the most part, can really transition wherever they, see fit.
Yeah.
And that's what kills them too.
But I will say, as it relates to the COVID thing, and it's a good sound. I will say, as it relates to the COVID thing, a lot of bands, and I know that we've had this conversation before, have been affected by COVID.
Mm-hmm.
I know we don't like to admit it much, but a lot of bands have been affected by COVID. We've lost a lot of kids just due to COVID. The extreme laziness that set in, that definitely has hurt. But like I said, one of the things that I continue to see, which I think is interesting, is a lot of Texas bands have just gotten smaller. So like I said, I don't know if it's just the COVID thing or is it a Texas thing. So
yeah, you're right. Now I know initially we were speaking about the core style, their format for the most part is slow, fast, slow.
Mm-hmm.
But they kind of Waltrip kind of mixed it up a little bit.
I mean, it can be mixed. What I will say is some people have not fully conformed to the quote unquote newer style of core style.
Mm-hmm.
And so sometimes they'll do that. But in totality, I mean, right now, this is their slow piece.
Yeah, that second movement, right?
Yeah.
They dancing
Who dancing?
on the right.
Oh yeah.
They dancing. That sounds so country. They dancing.
Watch when Maya becomes a collegiate dance coach. She gonna be the one in the camera. I don't give a damn. We came to dance and slay.
We came to dance and slay.
You better be better now.
Ooh, the ghetto.
I'm gonna sit you down. Oh, I can't wait. That brings up a good. I think I'm ready. Almost. I used to be very opposed to being a coach or a sponsor. I think I could kind of did this.
Let me tell you something. Self sabotage is real, man, and that imposter
I like the
syndrome is
horn
real.
flash. Very good horn flash.
Oh yeah,
Don't you know? I know it. I struggle with that on a daily.
Well, we ain't gonna struggle with that.
yeah.
Not this family. We gonna keep it all together.
Hey, Sean, call me. Just make this happen. I'll move
That's
back
what.
into the page.
I like the flags on the side. A little bit of the timing is off, but in totality, really good.
So, in your opinion, who's the best flag corps that you've seen at the collegiate level HBCU? I'll go with. I love the. Are they called the Golden Delights at NCAT?
Yeah, Golden Delight. I
Yeah.
call them the all-purpose girls.
Yeah, bro.
I've been calling them that for years. So yeah, Golden Delight is. I think they're good with. I would call Golden Delight color guard, quote unquote, auxiliary
Mm.
because they do more than just dance and they do more than just flag.
Right.
You know, I've seen them do
That
rifle.
would make them an
I've seen them
auxiliary.
baton. But I think that because they're so multi-purpose,
Mm-hmm.
um, it can get a little sloppy. Um, so you know, that's that's really where my brain is. Um, I love my alma mater. I think Norfolk is really good, but I also believe that Norfolk needs to be different. Um, they're very clean, but they have done the same thing since 1980. And so, of course you can't go wrong. Matter of fact, I would go so far as to say that Norfolk's flag line is the Bethune-Cookman of flag lines, where it's clean, looks good, but it's old.
Right.
Um, but if we want to just talk plain cleanliness, I would give it to Norfolk. I really enjoy what um, PV is doing actually. Uh, I saw her drop it.
When she
But
dropped the
Norfolk,
flag.
They
one of
recover
the
well,
flag,
but
but she recovered very
they
well.
recover very well.
Um, but no, I enjoy what PV's doing right now. As far as their flag line, it's a lot different than the way we came in to see it.
Most definitely.
Um,
They had them yellow berets on.
yeah.
Yeah.
I would also go to FAM's flag corps.
If anybody wants to know.
Yeah. Um, I don't. I will talk about that in a second. But no, Fam I think is very clean. But once again, they're ones that kind of don't really step outside of the box too much.
All right. That military,
Yeah.
aspect. Yeah.
So you know, I would definitely give it to either Norfolk or Prairie. Definitely third would be Gold Delight, all-purpose girls.
Well, and I guess because they're kind of like the jack of all trades.
Right.
They really haven't quote unquote mastered anything.
Right.
But I must have.
Their fifth quarter performance from San Antonio, Texas, the Sam Houston High School Band.
Shout out to Sam Houston. But I think because they're the jack of all trades. Not necessarily saying they haven't mastered one, but they're doing so much.
Right.
But you have to appreciate a group of young ladies that can do that.
Yes, because it is very hard. I assure you that. Had my time with it in Townview, dancing, twirling, batons, flags, sabers, rifles, and then having to dance too in one field show.
Wow.
Man, she got an attitude with
Yeah,
that.
she got big man.
You
No, I just remember it. You want to talk about band camp, but having to, like you said, it's hard to master all of those. But being able to perform all of these different elements within one field show and then do what you quote unquote are known for doing as well, it's a treacherous journey.
This is why we have you, because you're amazing and you know the ins and out of it all. See, we got to show love, you know.
Is that Ricky down there? I've been trying to figure out.
No, Ricky's in the stands.
That's what I'm saying right here.
Oh yeah, that's him.
Oh,
This is
Sam
Sam
Houston.
Houston's fifth quarter. This Piccolo player in the front is really throwing me off.
What you mean? The one on the right?
Yes.
Leave that girl alone.
I'm sorry.
Leave that child alone.
came for business and business
She
only.
know the assignment.
Hey,
And I must say this: they have an 18-piece band, but it takes a lot of heart because I've been there to build the band and continuously
absolutely.
to hold it down like that, man. That's
Yeah.
not no point.
It's not, you know, from somebody who's had to do it, it's not easy to do. And to even be out here in this kind of setting
Right,
where everyone is bigger than you,
right.
you know, it could be intimidating, man.
Very
But,
much
you
so.
know, when the kids show up and they do their job and they have fun doing it, I think that as a director is more rewarding than any other part of anything else you can worry about. You know, the kids having fun. This is in small situations like this, their experience and the fun that they have matters the most. Because that was definitely my program.
And I have a few more players than this, but basically that's mine as well.
Speaking of which, man, I saw a picture from your last, I think it was performance.
Mhm.
Dude, your program looks literally like my old high school. Like uniform, numbers. The only difference is your instrumentation is different.
Mhm.
You have more low brass than what I had.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I had a lot of saxophone, flute, clarinet, a couple of trumpets, about one tuba, one or two tubas, and one or two baritones. Yeah.
I literally first day of school, I'm in the hallway. What do you do? I do nothing. Come to the band hall. What do you do? Nothing. Come to the band hall. And I just win them, you know, day by day. Some fall off and some stay.
Yeah.
But I think as a band director, dance coach or whatever, if you have to have that buy-in factor of family, because really that's what these kids are really searching for.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I think it's a lot more to it too than just that. I think a lot of it has to do with school culture, administration, because I think those two things are aligned. I think it proves to be very difficult to try to build a program.
Most definitely.
So yeah. What I do appreciate about Sam Houston, I will say this: the kids are just having fun.
Right. And that's a win in itself to travel, you know, to see this beautiful campus, to see these bands. And a lot of the times you have to merely expose them for them to say, you know what, we're going to practice more. Even though we have these amount of students, we're going to be the best that we can possibly be. Mm-hmm. And then to see Prairie View, you know, I see they're, you know, prepping, about to come up. Like, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, I agree.
I
agree. Come on, hit it for us. She look, I don't know what she doing.
What's she doing?
I have no idea. She may be looking at the flag.
Oh, maybe she meditating.
Oh, the flag may be in the back. What's she saying?
I said I'm definitely looking at the flags. Thank you so much.
See, this is where we get problems. Because you said it so aggressively, like I wasn't with you on that.
I was not saying it aggressively.
A lot of tone in your voice right there.
Right.
There's some areas of opportunity.
Yeah, I would definitely say that I appreciate what they did. You know, I like I said, with them, with a group like that, it's just about the fun.
Right.
And they came from San Antonio.
Ladies and
Right.
gentlemen,
Oh yeah,
please welcome to the
I
field
believe it's
from
the
Missouri City,
west side
Texas,
of
the
San Antonio
Thurgood
too.
Marshall High School Band.
Come on, Marshall.
All right, so this is Thurgood Marshall's performance. As they're coming up, welcome everybody to Talk That Talk, where we have the unfiltered, unscripted, uncomfortable conversations about band, music education, HBCU band culture, and more. Please make sure that as you come in, you click that like button. And also, please make sure that you go over to the YouTube, you subscribe to the network. All right, we got our next band coming up on the field. This is Thurgood Marshall. Now, we saw Marshall earlier do their fifth quarter performance. And so now they're going to do their field show presentation.
Also, shout out to the groundskeepers of this stadium. Beautiful stadium.
Well, I mean, we can talk
They're
about
gonna cut that grass.
Yeah. You gotta realize I haven't been here like that.
it. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I was here teaching kids when the stadium first opened. They would not let us on any part of this turf
Wow.
when we first got here,
Hmm.
because like now, Doc has worked it out where they can have practices and stuff on the stadium. But back then, nah.
But I mean, from sitting up here, it's a beautiful practice field.
Well, they have a new
Like
turf
yeah.
practice field.
We had the Dust Bowl.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, that's what my to
Okay.
this day my sinuses still ain't recouped.
Remember, hey, we started in it.
For real?
Yes.
Oh, okay. We was back there.
Oh, you were way back. Okay.
Yeah. So in front of phase 1 and 2, that's where we used to practice.
Oh, okay.
And so we would stop marching, and you would just see this big cloud of dust
Mm.
just follow you. I think this is Marshall's third year band, his third year band there.
Yeah.
And I must say the culture that he's created in a short amount of time is amazing. So shout out to him and what he's doing.
Yeah. And the previous band director, Christina Levias, was an assistant band director in Beaumont for a while. If I'm not mistaken, at Ozark High School. And so I don't know where she is now. I don't know if she's still teaching or if she is retired, but I definitely want to give her flowers because, you know, she took over this program and, you know, kept it afloat for a long time. So shout out to her. Oh,
Ooh,
okay. Feet timing is off in the back.
middle too.
In the middle too.
Alignment is off.
There are overshooting lines, undershooting lines.
Flag, sweetie, you got to know where you got to be at.
And
Who marches like that? TSU?
yeah. Well, that's where he marched.
Yeah, Darwin.
Yeah,
Darwin, Darwin.
I think Daryl. But I must say this, and shout out to my drum instructor. I know he'll possibly see this later. You know, my drum instructor, we good sound though. We strive to create original cadences so that the kids have a sense of ownership.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, you know, I know we all come from our schools and we want to play what we play, but give the kids autonomy to create as well.
So, fun fact, Rick worked with Marshall for their show this year. And so what you're seeing is, you know, a product of what Rick helped them to do. He came down, I think it was for a week, and was able to work with Marshall. So, you know, big ups to Rick and you know, his travels and what he's been able to do.
But I say this though too. You know, we speak about the do's and don'ts and the things that we should learn while we were in our undergraduate days. Drilling should be a class too.
Absolutely.
If you're a band director, it should be drilling / arranging. That should be a class.
I agree. All right. One of the things I'm going to say before they get to the dancers, or while they're with the dancers, is one of the problems that I've always had as being a African American director, specifically in the state of Texas, and as it relates to UIL, is why is it that sometimes when we change who we are, right? We go out there and we try to do a core style show, but we are 100% a show style. We always play the black children. It's always Earth, Wind, and Fire, or uh,
Michael
Jackson, or something from Motown. Why can't we play anything different? And I think this is one of the issues that we've had with UIL for so many years, is the fact that we had to do something that quote unquote fit in their narrative, and we had to try to find a way for us to still be us. And every time I've seen it, it always looks uncomfortable for the student.
Right.
And so I never could understand that. This is why, once again, this today is important.
But like we've stated on our show, code switching is something real overall.
Yeah.
In this country, in this world that we are faced with. And let's be honest, the adjudication process for UIL is subjective.
Absolutely.
And it's on the preference of that adjudicator. So I guess they're playing those tunes because you cannot deny Earth, Wind, and Fire. You cannot deny Michael Jackson. It's just certain people that you just can't deny.
Mm-hmm. So one of these things I'm looking at with these young ladies is I'm looking at timing. The timing was not that great. They did well, but timing, hands. There was one of the times when they were doing I don't want to use the wrong terminology, so I'm not going to try to use it. I think I know what it is, but one of their turns, they just didn't land on time. So yeah, I don't know. What did you see, Miles?
That's what happens when you try to fit a lot into a little. So when you're trying to say it's about 10, 15 moves, I want to make sure I get in this dance. When you're trying to pack in turns, leaves, we gotta do this, we gotta do this, we gotta do that. That's when it can look a little bit jumbled. And now instead of rushing the counts and being able to use 4 counts to fill a double and get a double and 2 counts, now that makes everything rush and it makes everything a little bit more sloppy. But no, you're definitely on the right track. I agree with all that. They did well. There was some amazing flexibility for some of the girls, but there was definitely timing issues. But that's where it comes down to going back to the basics. Definitely areas of opportunity to go back to across the floors and revisit some technique that will definitely help with a lot of what we saw today.
See, I was right. See, I know what I'm talking about. Yeah, when it comes to that dancing.
Yeah, you did good.
Girl, you and these ants.
You
You,
keep attacking me.
I ain't seen one of them ants mess with you yet. Right.
Because I keep killing them. They all around
Y'all
here.
can't see, but she popping them ants like you get that bubble wrap, and you just be trying to pop all them. That's literally what you've been doing this whole time.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you what my granny told me. She said, well, never mind. Never mind.
What?
Are these sugar ants?
Yeah, but
They
that's
don't sugar
why.
milk.
But that's what I was gonna say something, but I chose not to even say it. We on a live platform. But no, that's why that's why they're not gonna bother you, because they're sugar ants. You good.
Okay, but you just I'm itching.
Make your flesh crawl.
Just think about it. Yeah.
You just think everything biting you.
Yes. Keep going like this, I was thinking something is crawling on my neck or my foot or something.
Well, you got the
I'm
cat ears.
about
They scared of you.
as they should be, and they should be able to
Absolutely.
move around from it.
Yeah, this is definitely Texas Southern. You know what? Since Brian Simmons has been there, I haven't seen Texas Southern do that. What?
I said they should keep it that way, and then I said that I said that out loud because that was definitely in my head.
I mean, you saying that, but that could maybe similar to them as getting rid of PVU and ET.
Maybe we'll never know.
Yeah, because ain't none of us really affiliated with TSU, so except from get registering my freshman year. That's it. I registered
Yeah,
my freshman year.
you was down bad.
I was. I was. As a matter of fact, when I was at Norfolk, my best friend called me and was like, "Hey man, you coming to class?" I was like, "What you talking about?" He's like, "They calling your name in class." I was like, "Bruh, I
Wow,
ain't
you
there.
was
I'm in
truly
Virginia."
enrolled. That's hilarious.
Yes, I was completely enrolled.
Wait, who calls names in the collegiate class?
The first day of school, when you trying to figure out who's who. Tight.
Nah, I'm gonna say this, and I guess as a tradition of shortstop band, you know,
Ladies and gentlemen, another round of applause
we
for Thurgood Marshall High School
we
band.
march off the field, bro.
Yeah, I was.
like I said, I think they did a good job and everything, but we march off the field, pimping.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Elsick High School band.
That was a very lackluster
This time,
ending.
if you want to start making your
Yeah,
way to
come
the
on,
It was just
scoreboard end of the
to the hole,
stadium.
baby.
right. It was just like, hey, we just gonna come off the.
You can start
All right,
making
let's
your
go.
way
Like,
to
No, don't them boys say, well, what did we have to do?
We understood the assignment.
Well,
this is Elsick coming back on the field. So before we get into them, welcome everybody to Talk That Talk. We have the unfiltered, unscripted, uncomfortable conversations about band, HBCU band culture, regular band culture, music education, and more. Please make sure as you come in, click that like button. It does not take long to click that like button. So many people are watching right now. I see these eyes on here, and I don't see the likes matching the eyes. Man, just come in and click the like button. It don't take that long. Also, please make sure that you subscribe to the network. Click the button to subscribe to the network. Also, turn on notifications. Also, if you appreciate the content and anything that we're doing for you, go ahead and buy us a coffee. There's a link for you to buy us a coffee inside of the comment section. I'll make sure I put it up there. Click that link and go ahead and buy us a coffee. We're a little thirsty. I don't know why I said it like that. So I think this is Elsick doing their fifth quarter.
Fifth quarter, right?
Okay.
But you know what's crazy for this Houston area, people would still consider Elsick a large band.
But that goes back to what I'm saying. That literally goes back to what I'm saying as it relates to size of the programs in Texas. I'm really curious, is this a Texas thing? This smaller programs. Their field alignment looks nice. Very contained.
Kind of like what we just said just now, right? In regards to song selections, whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Cameo is kind of could fall into that category too.
Yeah,
because we play Word Up. Marshall just played Word Up. Now they're playing Word Up. It's kind of like you have those, what is it called, cross cultural songs.
Mm-hmm. But here's the thing with that though,
Mm-hmm.
right? Elsick is not or never been like predominantly African American,
right?
So would that be their way of code switching?
But how can you code switch music though? I get, you know what I'm saying?
Because they may believe that this artist or this song may be
hip,
right. It may be contributing to our culture.
Mm-hmm.
They feel like they're connected by playing Cameo, Word Up. Right?
Maybe. If honestly, if that was their intent, then I agree. Then that would
I
be
agree.
their
Dang, see,
boy.
man, I knew I should have brought my soundboard. I could have had a whole bunch of I agrees.
I tell you this much though. After it's all said and done, shout out to Wilder County Line baked potatoes because that's what I'm gonna be eating today.
Smell disgusting.
Oh my god.
Definitely might have to stop there and do one.
Hey, they playing Kanye. They playing Power right now.
See, once again,
Yeah. Sound good though.
they do. They do. I'm not going to sit up here and say that they are an unbalanced program because they're not. They never have been. And what I can appreciate about them, which to me was different with Waltrip, is that even though everybody, or excuse me, even though they're doing these dance moves, it just looks more uniform.
Yeah.
Unlike what Waltrip did, where it was like these random kids who were going ham at certain points.
You know what's crazy? I they have one tuba, right?
Mm-hmm.
If this was my brand, I would have to convert somebody.
You said what?
I would have converted somebody. From like a euphonium, yeah, to being another tuba player. That's me.
I also liked
Shout out.
I believe next will be. Let me make sure. Look at this here. Thurgood was the last one to perform. Okay, so Thurgood is. Oh, okay. So we're gonna have a break after this, and then Prairie View's gonna perform it. So we're definitely gonna watch Prairie View perform it. And then we're gonna have interviews probably during the break and also during Prairie View's performance. So stick around with us, man. We got a lot going on. We're trying to make sure that we give you as much content as we possibly can and be here for this historic moment. Please make sure that you like and subscribe on the network. Also, once again, the link is in there, so buy some coffee, man. We appreciate all that you do. Continue to buy some coffee. I appreciate all of you guys for the continued support. Subscribe to the network also and turn on notifications.
Come on, June 27th.
They don't sound bad
at all. I got an F.
I gotta give it up to that one little two. You playing?
Yeah. Holding it down.
Yeah. Hey.
What?
Maya has some sisters on the field.
What you mean?
They got bunny ears.
Well, it's really our sister or cousin, because Bunny
Cousin,
isn't kid,
yeah.
you know.
It'll be the cousin. Cousin.
I respect Elsick the most. They just doing them.
Absolutely.
Like, for real.
And that's what this day is for you to do you.
Yeah.
Don't be anybody else but you. And I think that is the most important thing about today's performance and today's program, man. Is
Band director
for
from
you being you.
Waltrip High School.
TV is on its way in.
It's underneath the scoreboard.
I can see Doc giving the thumbs up.
Yep.
So they're marching in.
I got that slow bop.
1, 2, 3. Oh, no, they're all up there. I was wondering if all 6 drum majors were there today.
I have a question.
For any one of us,
Or just period. You know, a lot of times when we march, if you're a music major or a dance major or whatnot, your goal is to get to the collegiate level.
Mhm.
But once you get to the collegiate level, then what? You know, like that's honestly has been my sincere prayer lately. Like, what do I once God blesses me to get to that level? What specifically should I do? I know, of course, I want to make sure that I make teachers great teachers as they transition out of college.
Mhm.
But then what else? And that's a question I want to ask all those music majors. If your desire is to get to the collegiate level, like what's the purpose of getting there, and what do you want to do?
Well, for years, Foxes make that booty. All right, there you go.
Maya, you missed it.
Yeah, she did.
That's it.
But no, I for years have always advocated for the idea of having a professional marching band. And I think we've talked about this on the show, and I think Rick said it even. I think even Rick said it. Not that old phony, um, you know, Washington Redskins band, or excuse me, Washington band, ain't the Redskins no more. And that's no, Smiths to them, but it's not sweet, and to me, it's not professional either. Um, I think that it would be nice to have. I think that I would also put more interest into kids when they actually see a professional marching group, just like they can see a professional football team or a professional basketball team. So I think that is very necessary.
What you seeing already, Maya? What you see?
Oh yeah, that marching style we like.
Yeah.
Which one? Talking about the long.
Yeah.
That's the older
Not my
version,
favorite.
right?
According to Maya, that's not old.
It's not.
What this?
Yeah.
No, that's not the original spot. This is
That's
something
the
they
old
just made up. Like this, that is supposed to be it. That's not it. For being honest.
Ain't that the old one that they're doing now?
Yeah, but they're doing it. The way in which they're doing it is not right. But I mean, how would you expect for them to be able to do it? Nobody actually taught them how to do it.
So I'm gonna
They're
say
doing what they think that they've seen.
the girls on the sideline look different than the girls doing it coming down the end zone.
These?
Yeah,
You said they're what?
them doing that style look different than the girls who were doing it coming in the end zone.
Right here?
Yeah, I mean
Oh,
it
that's right.
changed.
That's what I'm saying. You can't. I can't expect for them to be cohesive and to be able to execute if no one. Well, not to my knowledge. Well, I know I didn't teach it, so I don't know if somebody actually taught them the proper way to do it. But I mean, that's what happens when you like you trying to do what you recreate what you've seen.
Kind of like the sequence. There are certain parts where that are not accurate either.
I don't know.
I'm just saying.
I mean, the only reason I say I don't know is because when MSD and Box was in there together, playing it together, it all sounded funny. And it seemed like they were all doing the same thing.
So there's certain like bass drum parts, like certain like one or two hits that should have been there was not, and so it's kind of like you remember when we had the show where it was like if you marched in it, like you would know, but like if you didn't, like you'll be like, oh, that's cool.
Gotcha.
And them basses, dope.
And so this is what Rick was talking about as it relates to PVU, right? Because from a drill standpoint, in a sound standpoint, when you are trying to get a certain sound, as it relates to field position, setting up a PVU is very difficult because of the way that it's set up. and then in most cases you have to do some funky redesign to try to get to the sound that you want based on field position. And if you're looking for a stereophonic sound, so yeah, I these were conversations that we would have sometimes. I was always like that.
Roll back.
Yeah, that rollback.
But again, for these students, I know this is an amazing day for them.
Absolutely.
I'm just putting my, and next year I'm make sure that my school attends.
Is TT here today?
Real talk, TT is the best announcer in history of marching bands. Period.
I don't call her TT. It's weird to call her TT. My experience and relationship with her as it relates to announcing is it started from the beginning. So I got plenty of stories with her.
Hey, boo boo kid.
How you
So
doing?
we got
Oh my God, it never fails.
we got most of the crew here now.
Hi. How are you?
Man.
You going back?
Bye. I must say this. Prairie View is like if you was listening to the song in the car and you turn up the volume. That's Prairie View. I gotta give it to them.
I will ask this question.
Mm-hmm.
I remember watching old Prophet drills, and I remember the drum majors inside of the drill. Even when we were here, I never asked the drum majors this question, and I probably should, but I never could understand why they were never inside the drill anymore.
Y'all know it's funny looking at 6 drum majors now.
I mean, it's not the first time.
No, but we did. Well, let me say for me, I did get accustomed to the Category 5 aspect.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, Maya was here. She had one.
Who was a Silas?
Silas.
Yeah.
I don't make that face.
Many. Because even in 1 year, it fluctuated.
Shout out to
Oh yeah, that year we had who was it? Alex, Silas? No, it was Alex, Hollywood, and Jordan.
I don't even remember.
It was 3, and then it ended up at the end of the year with 1.
What is? That's when we did not Honda. We did whatchamacallit in Houston. Oh, that was a day.
Talking about Silas. I pray for some else after that one.
Oh, when you dropped it.
Yeah, when he dropped the mace. See, and this is what I was talking about the flag line now. At PV, they look so much better to me than what they used to be, and that's no slight to what they used to be. I just think that the technique is different than what it was.
Yeah,
They're incorporating in a different way. So
yeah, absolutely. And I will say, when it comes to Dr. Zachary and the field positions of the flags, I think it really works well with them being around the group. the color, I think it just stands out a lot more, especially with this design that he has on the field. All right, mine's about to be all up in this.
This was my last Black Fox on yeah, the Magic Live.
Probably not the same arrangement.
Possibly not, but we this was the last song that Prophet wrote.
Uh,
We performed this at Rose Bowl.
I'm gonna say this. Say what you want about PV. Field presence is really good. We cannot deny that. Sound is good. They sound great. And this goes all the way back to the Southern PV game. On the field, sound wise, to me, there was no question who was the better band on the field. Now, if you want to talk fifth, different story. But
That's good. Bass drummer just gonna walk that thing out. I see.
it's probably the position of where they were at.
Yeah.
So, Maya, what do you think about your girls?
Perform better. There was some areas of opportunity. Facing overall execution of a couple of things was off. I think when they were performed at Southern, I think it was better executed. I believe the same dance they performed at Southern that would make more sense. It was good. In terms of like the energy levels and the overall choreography, I mean, just being honest, I think that I've seen better. But I guess if I can be a little bit harsher, for the home team.
Possibly, because in your mind, because you march with them, and that's where that's your girls, quote unquote.
Well,
You
sure. And there's a certain
can
like
be
expectation
overly
of
critical.
what I know is capable.
Right, absolutely.
But again, I never. That's why I always try and figure the best words or the best ways to say things, because it's never to diminish or demean. But I do know sometimes how it is, when we can be a little bit lackluster depending on types of performances we're doing.
Yeah. If you know you ain't really going against nobody.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, okay, well, let's get up here and do this real quick. I mean, that happens too. Being honest, I had my days as well.
Oh, okay, so you just let me know that you was lazy. It's a mess.
I'm just saying, I've seen them perform that routine better.
I don't know why. I just felt like I wanted to hear "Do What You Wanna," but good show.
Yeah, man, definitely. So what's going to happen next? They're going to go to a break slash intermission, and the judges are going to judge, and then they're going to come out and tell the judges' scores, and then tell who won and all that kind of stuff. So we're going to take this time to do some interviews as well. So go ahead and stick around with us. We're going to get the interview process set up, and then we're going to come right back. Please make sure that while you're here, please don't leave just to stick around for the interviews. But while you're here, please make sure you subscribe to the network. Also, click that like button and stick around so that you can see who won this historic day.
What's this locked in? Content.
All right, so we are back, and they're doing awards right now. And so right now, I think best drum major, and I think the red category was Sam Houston.
Superior rating, receiving best drum major, best dance auxiliary, best drum line, best wins, and best overall music. From Houston, Texas, the Elsick High School Band.
Elsick best drum majors. I don't know if you guys can hear, but Elsick High School best drum majors in the next category. Did I get it?
And in our blue division, receiving a superior rating from Missouri City, Texas, the Thurgood Marshall Band.
Okay. Thurgood Marshall, congratulations.
Receiving a superior rating and best drum major from Houston, Texas, the SP Waltrip High School Band.
Wow. Congratulations, Waltrip.
Best wins, best overall music. Ladies and gentlemen, from Cedar Hill, Texas, the Cedar Hill High School Band.
Yeah, Cedar Hill, definitely. Yeah, he got his shot. Once again, guys, this is definitely a historic event that's happening right now. US Bands show up and show out on the Hill. They're doing the judging right
Our
now.
final award today goes to the overall grand champion with an overall score of 92.8 from Cedar Hill, Texas, the Cedar Hill High School Band.
Cedar Hill. They had a very, very good complete show.
Attendance today. Please don't forget to continue supporting these amazing young people in all that they do. Drive safely and good afternoon. Drum majors, you are dismissed.
So we've made it to the end of the show. Maya is still here. Matter of fact, Maya, get that one.
This phone?
Yeah. There we go. Yeah, see, now family's back. But no, we have made it to the end of the show. The first thing I want to say is this thing is a very, very historic day. I really do appreciate US Bands. PVA PVA&M University, Prairie View A&M University, Marching Storm, Dr. Zachary, Prof. Hopkins, and the whole complete staff, just for allowing this to occur today on this campus. I think this is beautiful. Remember, they had one in Atlanta on the 22nd, and then we have one today on the 30th. And I think this is a beautiful thing that needs to continue. It needs to continue. All right. This is not something that needs to stop. We need to keep this going. And I definitely believe that we need to continue to make this happen at the HBCU level as well. But this is an historic day, especially for US bands and everything that's taking place in the band community, the marching band community, all of that. I think this is very, very, very great. I definitely appreciate everybody for joining us. Uh, oh, okay. We still have some interviews coming up, but I do want to make sure that everybody who has clicked in, please make sure you subscribe to the network. Also, please make sure you click the like and turn on notifications after you subscribe to the network. Also, we have been here all day. And I do appreciate you guys for hanging out with us, but I would ask that if you are in here and you've been seeing us hang out all day, Rick is here. He definitely came in earlier inside of the comment section. You can buy us a coffee. We've been here all day, and we would definitely like for coffee to be had for us. So go ahead and buy us a coffee, man. Whether you pay hit us with $1 or $2 or $3 or $4, it doesn't matter. Just buy us a coffee. All right. But no, I definitely appreciate it. Once again, we have interviews coming up from some of the directors as well as the judges as well. So that's going to be a very great thing to experience. Also, once this goes off from the live, this will also be posted on the YouTube page. So please make sure that you check the Talk That Talk YouTube page. When you go into the YouTube page, make sure that as you're watching it, even if you are just catching up, if you didn't watch this whole show from beginning to end and you decided to come back into it at the middle, you can still like and subscribe at that time. All right. Don't just think that you can only like and subscribe during the time that you're watching it. Like and subscribe during the time that when you go back and watch this playback. Man, this has been a great day. Maya is here. Her and her cat eyes or cat ears or whatever.
I'm
Smith.
here as per usual.
There we go. Yeah, this has been great. This has been great, and I really appreciate it. I'm just waiting for my interview camera to come up. Maya, what did you think about everything that took place today?
I loved it. This is definitely necessary. The last time I experienced something like this was when I was in high school. Um, and I think we went to an exhibition such as this in Atlanta. But I mean, first of many, hopefully. This is definitely inaugural. I would like to see this happen year over year, expand city over city, more bands. And definitely we need to up the ante. We need to get these collegiate bands in here and do the same thing. But no, it was amazing. It was amazing. I love everyone having the opportunity to shine and do exactly what they feel comfortable in. And let that be that. We were having a conversation of how do you. I think this was one of our first or second shows when we were saying at what point do you make it to say now you're eligible to be able to judge or give an expert opinion or expert thought process on what is what in band. So again, thinking on all this over and over again, it's necessary. This needs to become a new norm. We have battle of that's the norm. We need to make this the new norm or additional norm. But yeah, I have no complaints. I'm happy. I feel thrilled, feel fulfilled. This is cool. I do.
Definitely, and I appreciate it. We had the interview going on. Here we go. Did he go back out? Never mind. We waiting on him. But no, I definitely agree. And I will tell you one thing. We are going to try to be on top of all of these different performances and things like that, especially with US bands and all the things they're going to be having. Every time that they have one, Talk That Talk, I'm going to say this right now. Every time that they have one, Talk That Talk is going to be in the building in some type of way. Okay. I want to make sure I'm going to state that live. So I know that we missed the one in Atlanta, but I want to make sure that we are connected. I want to make sure that we are connected to all of these programs, man, because I think this is necessary. And this is what this program is about. And this is why this platform is definitely necessary, right? Because we're not just going to talk about it and sit in our seats at home. We're going to be out on the road and we're going to try to be a part of all of these things that are happening. So I really do appreciate this thing that's happening here. I appreciate the growth and the movement in music education. We got an interview right here. Let's go ahead and get them in.
Testing, testing.
We here. We got you. Can you hear me?
We are live.
Yeah, we live.
All right.
Yeah, we live. Go ahead. Can you hear me?
All right, so can you hear me, Julian? All right.
Yeah.
So we're about to interview Mr. Alexander Riggins of Cedar Hill High School, the grand champions of this inaugural USA Bands showcase. I'm going to put it on him. Ask you a few questions.
All right.
First of all, congratulations, sir.
Really appreciate it.
No problem. Awesome job. What does this inaugural historical adjudication process for not only just DCI but show style bands does this mean to you for you to be the first winners of it ever?
First, just going to the organization of this, being in USBands. Actually, Cedar Hill, we were involved in a USBands competition before, back at my first year at Cedar Hill back in, I want to say 2016, but it was more of the core side of band. So for this inaugural event to showcase the show style, the more show style of marching band, even at this Prairie University, you know, at an HBCU, I think is fantabulous. Fantabulous. I'm not making up words here. It's mind blowing. I hope they continue to keep it here. And as the years go on and COVID kind of comes down to a susceptible level, I can only see this getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So with us being the grand champions of its inaugural event, we gladly appreciate it. We're proud of our kids. We're excited. Man, we're on cloud nine right now.
Most definitely, and it's well deserved. So I do want to ask for young band directors that view our podcast, how do you create a culture like you created at Cedar Hill? Like, what's the recipe?
I would have to say you have to have the vision first. You do have to have the vision first. You can't, when you say recipe, you can't not make something without knowing what you want to make first. Because you have to know what you want to make. You have to go to the fridge to see if you have those ingredients. Oh, I don't. I got to go to the store and get this. I need to get that. And then you're able to create the dish that you have set your mind on. So it's having the vision first, and then implementing your vision with consistency. Cedar Hill, if you go back, you know, I would say 2015 and even further back, it's completely different. Coming here with the head band director, and then soon after, the other fellow band directors from 2016, it's a completely different culture. It's a completely different band, to the point that we have alumni coming back and saying, man, I wish I was a part of this band. So kind of even furthermore, just kind of stapling the answer to your question, you have to have the vision, and that vision has to be implemented with consistency, because this was definitely not done overnight. With it being 2021, this was 6 years in the making, and it's a child that we have greatly appreciated seeing it grow.
And my last question for you is, if you had anything to say to your students, what would you like to say to
them? Through the hard work and effort that they have put through with this whole COVID year, just bands across the nation, I'm proud of them. We are proud of them as a band staff to be able to come to this inaugural event and to leave as grand national champions and going home heavier than we came, with some hardware to take back to Cedar Hill, Texas. We are greatly appreciated with them. All of the emotions involved in getting a show like this together to be able to come out here and perform, travel. We literally traveled from Cedar Hill, well, midway, I do believe. We left an away game yesterday night at the third quarter, did the halftime show, went to concessions, got on the bus, traveled to Katy, Texas. The kids were tired, exhausted from performing. For them to come here today on a couple of hours of sleep and to be able to execute the show at a high level that they did, myself included, we couldn't be more proud.
Most definitely. So again, thank you. Don't forget, everybody, subscribe to Talk That Talk podcast on Facebook, on YouTube. Again, congratulations, Mr. Riggins, on a job well done to you.
Thank you so much.
Directors. And Cedar here is the first ever grand champions for the show style and just inclusion of all styles of marching band. So thank you again, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Yes,
thank
sir.
you again.
All right, man. That was amazing, man. I really do appreciate Quan going in and taking care of that interview, man. We had a couple more interviews set up, but they trying to kick us out of here because they got to shut this place down. But no, man, I appreciate everybody who hung with us, man. I appreciate all of you guys for tuning in. Once again, everybody, this is Talk That Talk. You can go back and watch this on your YouTube as many times as you want to. Please make sure that when you go back, if you haven't liked or subscribed to the network, please make sure that you do so. Please make sure you click that like button, subscribe to the network, turn on notifications, man. We are going to make sure that we are in the mix in all of these things, and we want to make sure that everybody who is a part of our channel is a part of it. Once again, we appreciate you guys. We thank you guys. We're going to be shutting it down, closing it out right now. Later on, we're probably going to add a couple more interviews that we're going to do as time goes by. But I do appreciate all of you guys for joining us. Please continue to support us, like and subscribe. I thank you guys. This has been a great day. I ain't got my music, so we just going to do a regular sign out. That's not even the song, man.
Close to it.
Da 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 da. There you go. All right, man. I appreciate you guys for joining us.